Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, from Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling happenings from the WWE Superstars of tomorrow, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. First and foremost, before we get started, I want to wish a happy birthday to one of my followers on X, formerly known as Twitter. In fact, she is the low-key legend herself, Natty Neidhart, Natalia. And, I was honored to have her follow me on X. It was really cool. And I'm thinking about buying her book. I think her book could be a good read. So I'm gonna try to look into that. I think I'm gonna try and buy her book, and it's a really cool book. It's gonna be a really cool book. I can tell. And she's always really sweet, really nice. In her pictures, she loves cats, so that's cool. Her husband should be T.J. Wilson should be proud of her, man. She's a low-key legend. She fought for the NWA title, women's title, but lost. But that's okay. I think she's going to be really making an impact in the women's division all over wrestling, not just in the WWE. I got a hunch, and she is going to be really, really a helpful person from. And it's going to be great. We're going to talk about the NXT women's division. I'll tell you one thing: the ending of NXT. I don't know if any of y'all watched it. I'm still trying to make odds and ends of everything in there. I was like, I didn't. Let's just say this is the biggest shocker ever, and it just, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So I'm just like, I'm still flabbergasted about just what happened, because that changes things before you know it. And then we got some sad news. For those of you who are music buffs for a long, long time, as you know, Rick Derringer was a legendary musician. He was part of the McCoys with Hang On Sloopy, and then he was part of another band that sang rock and roll, Hoochie Coo. And then famously, he did the song Real American that became the theme song for Hulk Hogan during his Hulkamania days back in the 80s when the WWE was the World Wrestling Federation. But did you know, I think you guys, a lot of you wrestling fans should know this. If you don't, you should, that song was not originally made for Hulk Hogan. In fact, Rick Derringer had the song for the U.S. Express, Mike Rotundo and Barry Windham, but when they quit the World Wrestling Federation, they decided, Rick Derringer and his music crew say, okay, let's give it a Hulk Hogan, and it took off from there and became the theme for Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania, and also he created the Demolition theme song, which I thought was one of my favorite theme songs from the 80s, the Demolition. Real American is one of my favorites, but the Demolition theme song was also one of my favorite wrestling theme songs. So rest in peace to Rick Derringer, who passed away at the age of 77. And I'm sure Demolition's theme song, every time we'll listen to it now, or Real American, will forever remember the legacy of Rick Derringer. So, he also helped out Weird Al Yankovic, and he dated Cyndi Lauper, which I did not even know that. Rick Derringer dated Cyndi Lauper at the time. See, again, Cyndi Lauper had... I don't want to say again, because I haven't talked about this yet, because I will have a wrestling hot take on who actually brought the World Wrestling Federation to the forefront of professional wrestling, who made things happen. And I'll probably do that in a separate episode of the show. And just hang in there, okay? Just hang in there for that, all right? I'm just trying to talk to fill up some time here. And, Rick Derringer, I didn't know he dated Cyndi Lauper at the time. That's crazy, crazy times. But rest in peace to Rick Derringer. Okay, we got to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, and NXT, it kicked off now, and as you know, this is the fallout from Battleground, okay? And like Ava announced, the North American title was on the line. Ricky Saints defending it against Ethan Page. And these two guys could not wait to get their hands on each other to the point where they were beating the stuffing out of each other. And it got to the point where Mike Rowan goes, this matchup is for the NXT North American title. It's happening right now. Mike, I would say, all right, this match is for the NXT North American title, and guess what? I'm getting the heck out of here. I thought you were going to do it, Justin Roberts. The bleep's going to hit the fan. And it got to the point where the match stopped by disqualification, but Ava came out and said, you know what? Keep the match going. And the referee said, keep it going, referee's discretion. And Ethan Page hit a cutter on Ricky Saints on a chair. Meanwhile, the brawl got so bad to the point where Booker T's headset got broken, got disconnected, and Vic Joseph's jumping up on the real railing there with the separate the fans and the ring action. High Corey Graves was trying to protect him. And it was crazy. This was a crazy matchup. Corey Graves tried to check on Ricky Saints and all, and he tried to keep his breath going. He kind of fought on until Ethan Page hit another cutter. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and this is a shocker, new NXT North American Champion Ricky Saints. Let's just say this: that ain't the only thing that happened. Trust me on this one. And then Sarah Schreiber interviews Fatal Influence and how JC Jane is going to claim that she's been beating the NXT Women's Champion. And Fallon Henley's just arguing a little bit and back and forth. And Jasmine Nix sat there and didn't say anything. And then Josh Briggs goes, I thought you went to Japan. I did, but I kind of miss you. And, because welcome back, buddy. So it looks like Yoshiki Inamura, who put his name tag on one of the lockers, looks like he's back for good. Is he signed with NXT? But, Yoshiki Inamura, well, they said they'll deal with the culling and then deal with the tag team titles. So he said he came back on unfinished business. Meanwhile, Mike Santana makes his NXT debut as a member on the TNA roster. As a member of the TNA roster, took on Tavion Heights, and this was a matchup, and it was a great matchup. But in the end, Santana won. He extended his hand to Tavion Heights. Tavion Heights gave him a hug in respect for good sportsmanship, and you know what? That's cool. We're kind of refreshing. Now, the High Rise, who are they? Well, it is Wes Lee, leader of the pack. You've got Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe. Those three gentlemen make up High Rise, and they explain why they came together. So there's that. Meanwhile, Andre Chase was giving Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors some advice. And he said you jump the gun. Sometimes you want to get your moment, but you have to hold back a little bit. He said, yeah, we could take risks and these two guys go up to Ava and say, how about a matchup? And then he goes, okay, you have a match next week against Dark State. But he said, there's 4 of them, 2 of us. Well, there's 3 of you. And then he said, where do you get the team? We're not a team. Andre Chase. I thought Andre Chase was going to swear at him. He said, we're not a team. And he walks away. Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors. Yeah, God bless you, boys. You have a lot to learn. Trust me. Then, and then Tony D'Angelo decided to have a sit-down meeting with Luca Crucifino. So what's going on? And he says, why? Yeah, I meant to talk to him. I couldn't contact him, I didn't want to put us all this at risk. And he goes, you know what? Good. He says, I don't know who to trust anymore. He says, he says something's not right here and everything else in between. So looks like this business between the D'Angelo family is not even over yet. Between Stax and the Don. Now you Luca Crisafino, and where's Adriana Rizzo in this situation? We shall soon find out. And then Trick Williams comes out addressing being the new TNA champion, and he says he's turning his back on the fans because the fans turned theirs back on him. And he starts complaining about that until Mike Santana comes out and says, "I can't stand. You're not my champion. I can't stand you as champion." But then Santino Marella interrupts both men via the Tron and said, "Hey, next week there'll be a TNA title match between you two." And then both men decided to fight it out, and Mike Santana grabbed the title and held it up. Little mind games on the part of Mike Santana. And Ava talks to Stephanie McCare, and she goes, "Because of the confrontation between you, Dalise, and Chick Tormenta, there'll be a tag team match, and you'll find yourself a partner for Worlds Collide." Lola Vice chimes in and said, "Hey, I'll be your partner." So there you go. It will be Lola Vice and Stephanie McCare, the NXT Women's Champion, at the time, will take on the team of Dalise and Chick Tormenta. Then Tatum Paxley went one-on-one with Jada Parker. And Tatum Paxley was pulling dolls of Shotzi and Gigi Dolan. She kind of misses them, and I miss them too, in the WWE. And Jada Parker grabs the Gigi Dolan doll and tosses it across the ring, but distracts Tatum Paxley and ends up winning the matchup with her hypnotizer. But then Thea Hale attacks Parker after the matchup. Next up, Dante Chen, making his return to the ring from his ankle injury, took on the Season 1 winner of LFG, Jasper Troy, who was coached by Booker T. And Jasper Troy ended up winning the matchup, but then Obafemi came out from the balcony and warned him that his 5 seconds of fame is over. Well, Jasper Troy and Obafemi, that's a head-on collision waiting to happen for sure. And then the No Quarter Catch crew talked about Borden Heights, and they went selling their matches, but they're failing in singles competitions, but we go back as a team. And then Miles Bourne felt that he wanted to prove himself in singles competition, and they started a disagreement and said, "You know what, I'll challenge you to a matchup." And then Charlie Dempsey goes, "Why don't we do it my way, a rounds matchup?" And Miles Bourne has no problem with that, and the stipulation is, if Miles Bourne wins the matchup, he leaves the No Quarter Catch crew. So, he may be coming to his own. Gotta be proud of Miles Bourne. We'll see. And that match will be happening next week. Meanwhile, Ethan Page is gloating about being the new North American champion. He's running his mouth. And Javon Evans, who has yet to have a receipt from Ethan Page, in fact, he owes Ethan Page a receipt, comes out and say, "Yeah, I still want money from you for my injury to my jaw, and you know what? You're going to defend the North American title. I just talked to Ava, and you're going to defend it against me. So you and me one-on-one? No, you don't deserve the match. No, my bad. It is going to be I'm not the only one who got skills and is bouncy. Laredo Kid from TNA and AAA says he wants a shot. It says that he's going to get a shot at the North American title. But then, Ethan Page now is a triple threat. He's complaining about, whoa, my bad, he says. Well, it'll be against this man too. And Ray Phoenix comes out, arrives on NXT, here's what's all about, and now it'll be a fatal four-way at Worlds Collide for the NXT Men's North American title. It's Ethan Page will defend against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix. Gotta be excited about that one. But we ain't done yet. Ava was talking to Robert Stone and Stevie Turner in the back, and then they both vouched for Superstar Legacy. And Ava goes, "I got an idea. Whoever wins this matchup in Worlds Collide, the NXT after the Worlds Collide, will get a shot. We'll defend the title against Sean Legacy at the NXT After Worlds Collide. That's a huge, huge deal. So there you go. So Ruka and Zarya were talking to Tatum Paxley after she lost her match and saying, "We're here for you. Just don't be hesitate. Don't be afraid to talk. Don't be shy." But the culling is in the background. What are they up to now? We'll be watching all this. So then the NXT Women's Title matchup. Here's where the fun really begins. Stephanie McCare defending it against JC Jane. And during the matchup, Dalise and Chick Tormenta come out and stand on top of the apron to confront Stephanie McCare. Lola Vice had enough of that. Decided to fight both women off. Security is separating them and escorting the three women out of the ring, away from ringside. And during the matchup, also then Fallon gets involved. JC Jane gets pushed into her, knocking her down and outside the ring. Both women are outside the ring arguing. Jasmine Nix, was trying to stop the argument, but then they both push her down, and then she walks over on the other side of the ring. I thought she walked away. And then Stephanie McCare takes them both out and stuff, and I thought she would take advantage of the situation. And then Jasmine Nix looks like she's in the corner of Stephanie McCare, maybe. But then she had the referee distracted. And then Fallon Henley did like a 619 around the post to Stephanie McCare's head. JC Jane took advantage of it. The cover, the count, 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new NXT Women's Champ on top of that. JC Jane, everybody's in shock. I did not expect that to even happen, because I thought Stephanie McCare was doing so well as a champion. What's going on? Is it the draft? Is it? I really don't know. But I think that whole Fatal Influence arguing and snapping about, it had to be a ruse. It had to be a ruse. It had to be some kind of ruse all along, and Stephanie McCare just fell for it. I am totally, totally shocked. And that's why I mentioned the TNA title will be next week. I just cannot believe that even happened. We have a new North American champion. 2 titles change hands tonight on both title matches. So, that's all the time we have on this episode of the show. Episode 2276 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. That's right, we're talking about NXT Event Center, the fallout from Battleground. What a fallout it was. It is just nuts, ladies and gentlemen. We shall soon see what happens here. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show. And I hope you guys, I'll see you guys on the next episode of the show. That'll be tomorrow, Joker's Wild, every Wednesday. And then we got AEW Dynamite, the fallout from Double or Nothing. So this is going to be an interesting situation there, too. Is there any more craziness going to happen in wrestling? Oh, yeah, that's right. We got WWE Evolve as well, where a first ever Evolve Women's Champion will be crowned between Kendall Gray, Callie Armstrong, Kylie Ray, and Wendy Chu. Who's going to come out of there? Who knows? That is it for today's... Oh, and I did change my thumbnail for NXT. So I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. Until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Do It for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.